Hey humans, welcome back to otro videito más. Today we're talking about Wonderlust, the Apple event that happened yesterday. I'm gonna bring you all the main details. Disclaimer, there's a lot to go through, so I do have my notes down here. But yeah, let's just get started. Starting off with the Apple Watch Series 9, we got a brand new S9 zip chip, which is 60% faster. The GPU is 30% faster. Dictation when talking to your watch is 25% better. It should be able to understand you better now. The new features, access health data with Siri. So you can tell Siri, hey, I took my pills at 8 a.m. in the morning. It'll be tracked down. Name drop is another new feature. Basically, you can tap Apple Watch to Apple Watch and you can transfer information, contact info, your basic Apple profile. And the big feature that was discussed was the double tap. Basically, if a call's coming in, you can double tap to answer. If you're trying to hang up, you can double tap to hang up. And the double tap will work as the main button on whichever application you're in. So it depends on the application that you're on. The double tapping will act as the main button for that application. You have the ability to ping your iPhone. The brightness is next level. It's literally next level. It's at 2000 nits of peak brightness, which is pretty up there. And it's Apple's first 100% carbon neutral product. And the starting price is $399. So the Apple Watch is already available for pre-order, but it'll be going on sale on September 22nd. Now moving on to the Apple Watch Ultra 2. It also gets the S9 chip and the double tap, but on the Apple Watch Ultra 2, you have on-device Siri, which basically lets you use Siri even if you don't have any connection. And it has better, more precise finding. So if you lose your iPhone, your AirPods, it's a lot more precise at finding your stuff. It has a new advanced display architecture. So now the Apple Watch Ultra 2 goes up to 3000 nits of brightness, which is insane. It also has modular ultra, so basically you can customize your Apple Watch face a lot more since it uses the outermost edges of the display. So you can display stuff like altitude, depth, passing seconds, and night mode activates automatically, so you'll get better battery life. Talking about batteries, you get 36 hours of battery life on standard mode, so more than all day battery, and all night, which is great. And on power saver mode, you get a whopping 72 full hours. Now that's all day battery life. It has a custom action button just like the Ultra 1. And if you go scuba diving a lot, you can log your dives. So that's pretty neat. Now, the starting price for this Apple Watch Ultra 2 is $799. So I don't think it's for everyone, but if you have the money and you're a pretty active person, then by all means. All right, so moving on to iPhone 15 and 15 Plus. Now, all iPhones come with USB-C, but keep in mind the USB-C from the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus is not as fast as the USB-C 3 from the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max. But in the box, you will get a USB-C to USB-C charging cable. You won't get the brick, so keep that in mind. Now the 15 and the 15 Plus have the A16 Bionic chip. They have the Dynamic Island and the Super Retina XDR display with a peak brightness of 2000 nits. Now the two sizes, the regular one is 6.1 inches and the Plus is 6.7 inches. It comes in 5 different colors: pink, yellow, green, blue, and black. Now, the main camera on the 15 and the 15 Plus has the 48 megapixel sensor with faster autofocus, 4K cinematic mode, an action mode, and a night mode. You have an ultra wide, a 1x, and a 2x optical zoom, which is great. You got auto portrait mode. So if you're taking a picture of somebody, it'll automatically recognize that it's a human being and it'll do portrait mode, but you can also change it later on. They also state that it'll be a lot better in low light than the past years. So expect great low light performance. Now, another cool feature that they presented was the voice isolation when you're on a call. So if you're in a market, or let's just say a concert, or somewhere that's super loud, you can hit voice isolation. And from what they showed, it worked beautifully and it sounded really nice.
I'm at the farmer's market. Do you want... Hang on, it's noisy here. Better? Great. Of course they have apples here.
We'll see how it works in the real world, but for now, I can't wait to use this. Another thing they added was with emergency SOS, now you can call roadside assistance. So if you're on a road trip, your car breaks down, something happens, and you don't have any service, you can use emergency SOS to call roadside assistance. AAA is going to be the main player here. So if you have AAA, it's already covered under your membership. But if you don't have it and you want to have that service, then you can pay for it. So keep that in mind. Now the iPhone 15 starts at $799 for the 128 gigabyte. And the 15 Plus starts at $899 for the 128 gigabyte. So the prices are still the same as last year's models. So nothing to complain there. Better cameras, better software, better chip. Seems pretty good overall. Now let's move on to the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. All right, let's readjust because this is important. iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max now come in titanium. Not just any titanium, but grade 5 titanium, which they say it's used in the Mars rover. So we got space technology in our hands. Now, because we have titanium bodies, these Pro iPhones are technically the lightest and strongest iPhones ever made, which also for the display, the bezels are thinner. So the iPhone is technically a bit smaller, but the display is still the same size. Now, talking about sizes, the Pro is 6.1 inches and the Pro Max is 6.7 inches. And it has 4 pretty awesome finishes. It has white titanium, black titanium, blue titanium, and natural titanium, which is definitely the one I'm getting. The natural just looks natural. No, but I think it looks pretty sick. Definitely my favorite finish. The action button is gonna replace the mute button, but by default, the action button is gonna be mute or unmute your phone, silent or unsilent your phone. But you can customize this to do a voice memo when you press it, literally start recording a voice memo when you press it, or you can customize it so when you press it, the camera comes on, which is probably what I'll do. But if you use shortcuts, limitless. You can basically program that button to do whatever you want, as long as you know how to use shortcuts. So for the display, we're obviously gonna get the ProMotion, the always on display, the Super HDR, but this time we're getting like a gimmicky new feature where if you turn your phone sideways while it's charging, it'll automatically switch to standby mode, which kind of looks like a clock, an alarm clock. You can customize it to put different things on it, but basically it'll be your nightstand alarm clock. Another exciting part is the new A17 Pro chip with a 3 nanometer process and a 20% more powerful GPU. Now they're calling this GPU a Pro class GPU. This new chip is going to be pretty useful for gamers because it'll use mesh shading, which basically creates a more realistic version of the environment in a video game, and it'll also do ray tracing, which will make games look so much better, more realistic. As you can see here, without ray tracing, with ray tracing. So it definitely changes the feel. It bounces light better from objects and walls. So that's pretty awesome. But even though it's doing the ray tracing and the mesh shading, you'll still get a constant 30 frames per second while you're playing. So it seems very promising. The USB-C port is going to be a USB 3 with 10 gigabits of transfer speeds. They didn't compare this to the Lightning port because there's just no comparison. This is uber fast, just so much faster. With the Pro camera features, starting off with the ultra wide, we got 13 millimeters. If we go to the 48 megapixel main camera, we're gonna get 24 millimeters, 28 millimeters, 35 millimeters. It should be a lot better in low light performance using night mode, and nighttime portraits, like in portrait mode, will be a lot better thanks to the LiDAR sensor. Now on the telephoto mode on the iPhone 15 Pro, you're gonna have a 77 millimeter lens. But the reason I say this is because on the 15 Pro Max, you're gonna have a 120 millimeter lens thanks to the new Tetra Prism design. Tetra Prism design. So you're gonna get a 5 times optical zoom, emphasis on the optical part. So basically it's not a digital zoom, it's an optical zoom 5 times to 120 millimeters. This will make long range photos look a heck of a lot better. Also, the telephoto sensor is 25% larger. And not just that, it has better stabilization with the 3D sensor shift module, which is a first on a smartphone. Now that we have USB-C, you can basically do anything. Super transfer speeds to your computer from your iPhone. And you can also connect your iPhone using Capture One. So every time you take a picture, it'll go directly to the computer and also save it there. And you can edit the photos and, you know, everything. Also, another cool thing is that if you shoot a lot of ProRes video, you can externally record that video now. So you don't need the max iPhone storage in order to record ProRes for an extended period of time. You can connect it to an external storage device and kind of record for a lot longer. So that's pretty good news for people who use the iPhone as their main camera. Now you can shoot 4K 60 in ProRes, and you can have a log profile, which will make it a lot better for editing and color grading. Now, one thing that I think it's very gimmicky is the spatial video. It basically records a 3D image using the main camera and the ultra wide camera, but this is recorded so you can watch the videos on the Vision Pro system, which is $3,500. So if you're not buying that, and the spatial video kind of doesn't apply because there's no need for it. Now the prices, they start off, the 15 Pro starts off at $999 with a 128 gigabyte, but the 15 Pro Max starts at $1,199. But you will get 256 gigabytes to start off with. So technically you're getting what you pay for. The price didn't really increase. They just took away the 128 gig option. My iPhone 14 Pro is 256 and I'm using 86 gigs of the internal storage and everything else is in the cloud. So I'm very okay with what they did. 256, I feel like is just right, just enough. But I know before, if you were shooting ProRes or taking a lot of raw photos, more internal storage was necessary, but not anymore. First, due to the USB-C, you can transfer stuff out very quickly. Now the iPhones are going to be available for pre-order on September 15th at 5 a.m. Pacific time. So that's 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So put that in your calendar. Also, if you go to the Apple Store now and you are planning on pre-ordering it, you can kind of preset all the information, select the one you want, the storage. If you're gonna do a trade-in, you can select everything and have it ready. So when the 15 comes, you don't have to do a lot and you can place your pre-order as soon as possible. The actual phone will be available September 22nd. I'm definitely gonna get the iPhone 15 Pro Max because of that telephoto lens. I think it's gonna be great. I can't wait to try it out. I've never actually owned a big phone, the Pro Max or the Plus. So we'll see how I handle this one and we'll see how the experience is compared to your regular Pro models, the 6.1 inch. So we'll see. Also, one last thing, the iCloud Plus, they are adding 6 terabytes and 12 terabyte options. I honestly think they should have gone from like 2 to 4 to 6 to 8 to 10 to 12. You know, kind of like a little ladder. They just went all out from 2 to 6 terabytes to 12 terabytes. That's insane. I still don't know how much they're gonna charge for it, but insane. I have the 2 terabytes now. I use it quite a bit. I have a lot of videos coming in and out, in and out. I do a lot of transfers, so I do use it, but I think 2 terabytes is kind of good enough, but some people may need more. Now it's available, so yeah. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Let me know down in the comments below which iPhone are you gonna get, if any, and if you're an Android user, I'm not sure why you're still here, but if you are, it's probably because you want to get an iPhone. It is fine, just get it. Just get it. No one's gonna judge you, okay? No one's gonna judge you. Make sure to subscribe for a chance to win an iPhone 15 Pro Max. If we get to our goal of 10,000 subscribers, I'm gonna do a giveaway. I'm gonna give away one iPhone 15 Pro Max. And no, it's not gonna be mine. It's gonna be a brand new one for somebody who subscribes. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hasta la próxima.